This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Cocktails up here feel just right. Is Cambria amazing? All right. Bring a date, your team, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com. See you on the roof.
Welcome to the Sportsman's Voice Roundup, your weekly look at conservation and sporting community news happening across the nation and on the Hill. Thanks for tuning in. This is the TSV Roundup. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, for another look at conservation news from around the country. This is the Sportsman's Voice Roundup for the week of June 15th, 2026. Halfway through June, days away from summer officially kicking off, although many of us are living in summer heat, so buckle up. It's going to be a long one. This week, we've got stories from all regions, and our lead story this week, not so great news coming out of the West on Oregon IP28, a story we've talked about extensively and even dedicated to a feature podcast. We'll get to Marie Neumiller here in a moment, take you through the rest of the highlights from the country. Starting off with our forestry report. This from John Colclaser. CSF hosted a policy briefing on forest management issues impacting wildlife habitat. You can check that briefing out. John goes into detail on how that went, what was discussed, and forestry remains a hot and big topic, and we're certainly happy to engage in it and forge partnerships and. Yeah, go check out John's article. Interesting stuff there. In the Midwest, Jake Gould is reporting on Kansas commissioners discuss reestablishing a fall turkey season. That's interesting. Quick highlights here. Due to the declining turkey numbers in Kansas, the Department of Wildlife and Parks commissioners voted to cancel the 2023 fall turkey hunting seasons. In April of this year, the agency's commissioners began discussing a potential reestablishment of that fall season. CSF maintains that state fish and wildlife agencies like that in Kansas are the entities best equipped to making wildlife management decisions. Certainly in the turkey circles, this can be quite controversial, especially where there are declines, but hopefully those biologists there, turkey nerds, are able to advise and talk about how populations have rebounded and maybe create some fall opportunities. It is a different experience, and I would argue fall hunting can be some of the best turkey hunting where you have it. Heading down south to Louisiana, Mark Lance is reporting on commercial menhaden industry accountability. This bills signed into law. These are a major win for recreational anglers in Louisiana. Another hot and controversial topic, menhaden. If you are a recreational fisherman, you're going to want to check this one out. Those menhaden are food for so many species, game species there in the fisheries here, chasing stripers and all these other fish chasing them. So up and down the coast and the Gulf, you're going to want to check that one out. 2 items coming out of the east, the northeast mid-Atlantic. Kaylee Lear reports on 2 bad pieces of policy that died as New York's legislative session adjourned. This was a great bit of news here. Issues we've been working on for years, especially when it comes to the Big 5 bans, African import of airfinger quote trophy, Big 5 trophy, parts and pieces from successful hunts over in Africa and the countries there. Got some legs, started moving, and then didn't. So I'm sure it'll come back. You can check out the language of those bills in the in-article links from Kaylee. Also, there was a lead ban or a potential lead ban that would have stopped the donation of game meat harvested with lead ammunition. Um, Again, we've talked about this and reported on this. The science is lacking um, completely, and I invite you to go check out Kaylee's article on that for those in article links, more deep dives, and you can learn more about that. But good news for once out of New York. And then finally, not good news out of Massachusetts. Surprise, surprise. As previously reported by yours truly, the governor there in Massachusetts back in March enthusiastically supported rescinding the ban on Sunday hunting, adding crossbows to the archery season in full inclusion, and then cutting the setback distances during the archery season in half. As it stands right now, it's a 500 foot distance from a dwelling, which cuts off roughly, when you start overlaying it all, about 18 acres per dwelling. They want to bring that down to 250, which essentially is about 4 acres. So you can start seeing all the potential thousands and hundreds of thousands of acres across Massachusetts being opened up. But really, that Sunday hunting is huge. And to have the governor put teeth behind it, put her office behind saying, hey, we need to get this done. Um, it's important. Unfortunately, those provisions that were in her original fiscal year bill, her budget there, they stripped those out. They being the House Ways and Means Committee, and there's an audit going on. So um, our issues and many others were taken from that and reported out. This bill now sits in the Senate. Perhaps by the time this show drops, there may be more updates to come. We know that these things are moving. The Senate has them now, and hopefully we can report on some amendments potentially being added back in. But those three were taken. So for now, we're at a standstill, waiting to see what we can do in the Senate. But never fear, CSF and our partners in the Massachusetts Legislative Sportsmen's Caucus are fully engaged, as well as our partners in the state. So all is not lost here. Go check that out on the website, congressionalsportsman.org, congressionalsportsman.org. All the articles are there in our media center, folks. I do encourage you every week to go there. Again, the in-article links, do the deep dives, see the bill, see the text, see the timelines on those, where have they been, where they're going, and you can get involved. And then just more arguments and why we support or oppose the legislators that tune in here. This is a great resource for you, and it's all for free. So go check it out, congressionalsportsman.org, congressionalsportsman.org. Now, let us turn and welcome in Marie Neumiller. Marie, we've got some updates on this just hellacious, awful ballot initiative in Oregon IP 28. What's going on?
Yes, thank you, Fred, and thanks for letting me join you today on the podcast. I think one of the things I want to start with and highlight the most for everyone is there's been some confusing information circulating around on whether or not IP28 has officially qualified for the ballot. So I just want to start out by clearing up that confusion and making it clear. The minimum required signatures is 117,173 verified signatures. And that verified is the key point here. Yes, proponents have reached around 126,000 signatures, but those are all presently unverified. So we still need to wait. It probably won't start the verification process until around July 2nd. In the past in Oregon, ballot initiatives have averaged around 21% failure rate for the signatures, as high as 26%. So the proponents could still need more signatures to make the ballot. So it's not officially on the November 2026 ballot, but it is inching closer to that threshold.
The fact that it's even made it this far, and you and I and others on our team, certainly our hackles were up way back at the beginning when this all came, and it's, you hear people in the community and space, well, this is just too crazy, it's not going to go anywhere, this is all a big to do about nothing, and it's not. We live in crazy, weird times, and people just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And this was one of those cases, and you can't sleep on this stuff. And here we are. If you could, I don't mean to put you on the spot, so if you can't speak to this, we can move on. But the signature verification process, what is that? People hear that, but I'm not sure everyone really understands how these are vetted and what that process looks like to get it down to these potential failure rates.
Yes. So once either the signature gathering deadline has been reached or the proponents of this initiative petition let the Secretary of State know that they've completed their signature gathering process, then the Secretary of State's office is going to go and compare the signatures on those petition forms to the voting rolls. One of the things that's important here and why this signature verification process matters so much, proponents of this bill have been collecting signatures for 2 years now. They began in 2024. If someone has moved out of state, they will not be qualified as a signer because those signatures aren't certified by the proponents until they say they're ready. So if someone signed in 2024 but have since moved out of state and are now voting somewhere else, say Idaho, they're no longer qualified to weigh in on this petition.
Oh, very good. When is the drop dead date? Say that they don't have the verification, they fall within that percentage of failure.
Yeah.
When is the very
So
last date they can get enough signatures certified to get on the ballot?
the last day that they can submit signatures is July 2nd. And then right at that July 2nd deadline is when the Oregon Secretary of State will start those counts, and those should come out, I believe, fairly quickly thereafter, within a few weeks.
So that's it. That's the drop dead date. We should know post 4th of July, happy birthday, America, whether they're a go or not. If they're deficient in those verifications, it's dead. It stops right there, the process, and we
Yes.
get a nice birthday present for America.
As soon as July 2nd comes, we'll know how many uncertified or unverified signatures they've submitted, and then that verification process will begin. So we'll have a closer idea. They probably need upwards of around 140 to 160,000 signatures to be comfortable with their submission.
And I don't know if there's any proof of this. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head. I gotta imagine. Well, maybe not. Is there laws against incentivizing those signatures? Like, can they? It's like buying a vote, I guess. Can you like give someone a donut for a signature or offer them money, or is that not?
That is a good question, and something I haven't looked into all the way.
Oh,
They
sorry, I
can
didn't mean to put
pay
you on the spot.
signature gatherers, so they can pay the people who are out there gathering signatures, but I'm not sure. But one of the things we are hearing reports back on is the way that they are gathering the signatures.
Mhm.
It's not illegal, but it does feel deceptive. They're just letting people know IP 28 is to stop animal cruelty. They're not going into the details, so people aren't realizing the full impact it could actually have on their life.
That's right. And we covered it. We talked about this as much in our full feature episode um, earlier this year that I keep inviting people to go back to. A lot of that information is pretty evergreen on this topic, less some of the signatures and the numbers, but the who's who in the zoo, the proponents, their background, their motivations. It really deep dives. And Marie and the guest, Amy there from Oregon Hunters Association, do a really good job of breaking this down. And it's crazy is surrounded by crazy, and the guy and the organization that brought this about, like from my armchair, a certifiable crazy. If Dr. Fred was a doctor, they're nuts. It's absolutely just insanity what we got going on. And what's been nice here lately is to see the broader discussion now permeating to the top, at least social media wise and anecdotally, looking at the what quote unquote influencer space. People have finally started to pick this up and they're taking it seriously, and it's getting a broader array of coverage. So at least that conversation is being had coast to coast and border to border and parts in between. And that's important, as we've discussed, because it's just crazy enough to happen in crazy Oregon, but it can happen anywhere else where these ballot initiatives exist. And that's the danger. And maybe it's not, this particular incident isn't ballot box biology, but in another way it kind of is. But like Colorado 2 years ago, that was ballot box biology. This is just straight up moratorium on. They want to ban the whole thing. So maybe some layers down in that argument, it's ballot box biology. But nevertheless, this trend could continue where we have these opportunities.
And I think that increased coverage is important. The proponents of the bill have stated multiple times that they truly believe this will not pass. Should it make the ballot, it will not survive the election. But they're still moving forward because they want to get this conversation out there into the public space and have people start thinking about animals and wildlife differently. But that also gives us an opportunity to share information and education and our stories about what sportsmen's conservation truly is and what it looks like. And I think we shouldn't be sitting on our heels, and we should be taking advantage of this opportunity when people are looking to share our story and really highlight the amazing benefits that sportsmen and women have and offer to conservation in our country.
Yeah, you've been doing a bang up job, Marie, and you and the cohort out there, just getting this information out there, and your updates as we go have been well received on our social platforms, and see them getting cited, see your stuff getting cited and borrowed and used in other platforms. So it's nice to see your hard work is really getting out there to the masses beyond Oregon. So you're certainly a part of that large messaging and that education, which is what we do here.
Thank you. I'm enjoying the opportunity to just sing the praises of the amazing men and women that I get to work with every day.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so we're looking towards about 3 weeks or so, maybe a little bit more than 3 weeks, roughly. My mental math's not on. I think we're about 3 weeks ish, 2.5 weeks, and
It's sneaking up on us closer than
we're
quicker
gonna
than I
know
realized.
we're gonna know some stuff here pretty quick. All right, well, we'll stand by and wait for the update, and until then, we'll keep beating the drum, sounding the alarm, and making sure all that need to be engaged are. And then, again, the bigger lesson here beyond Oregon is the other 49 states. Don't sleep on this stuff. Don't think your long heritage and traditions and your culture is going to protect you from this, because all you need is just one crazy group of people to take advantage of legislative process or some political loopholes, and you're getting jammed up too. And now you got to invest all this resources and time to fight something that shouldn't even be considered.
Yeah. Yeah, we will keep a close eye on it and keep everyone informed as it moves along.
Very good, Marie. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for your leadership, and we'll look forward to hopefully some good news here post 4th of July. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of the Sportsman's Voice podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, your support is crucial, and you can help us out right now by leaving a review, filling in those 5 stars where available, sharing this episode with friends and family, and engaging with us socially. CSF can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Together, we can protect the outdoor sports we love and continue to keep you informed wherever you are. That's it for this week. Until next time, we'll see you later.